Welcome back to another episode of Pumped Up Tea. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Sarah. I was going to do hello. Hello.
Hello.
We're back.
We are back again for another week.
Another week post-episode.
Oh, yes. We are fresh off of this episode of Vanderpump Rules.
We've been hanging out all day. We've been drinking all day.
We went for a nice, early brunch with another girlfriend.
Yeah. She had espresso martinis. I had coffee.
A whole flight.
It was
espresso martinis. It was delicious.
I want to be an espresso martini girl. I think it's a combination of two strong things, like alcohol and coffee together. I have to do one or the other.
It does get very tiring, especially after a whole day.
Yeah. I feel like it's too strong a taste for me. I want to be an espresso martini girly, but I don't think I am.
It depends, I guess, on how it's made. There are some espresso martinis that are made that are more liquidy and very, very strong.
The one we had at dinner on my birthday was
very strong.
She was spicy.
But then there are people who give a nice solid pour, and they even out the ratio.
Well, the ones you guys had today looked fantastic.
They were so good.
Yeah.
I was actually pleasantly surprised. The Samoa flavor was actually my favorite.
Yeah.
And I was anticipating on liking that one the least. So I was very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, it was really great, guys. If you're in the New England, Connecticut area, definitely recommend Yellow King's Brew.
Yellow King's Brew was
really fun.
Yes.
Anyway, I don't really have much tea of the week.
Have no fear. Jax and Brittany were at the Whitehouse Correspondence.
Oh my God. Who was dressing her?
Her first outfit didn't hit all that much, but I liked the second one. Are
we talking about the black one?
I did like the black dress.
Her boobs are in her neck. We're not dressing her for her body type. And it's frustrating because you have two different photos in the world. It's the ones that she puts on her own social medias are so photoshopped, and she's let's just throw this out there. Brittany is gorgeous and beautiful, regardless of her size, right? I just wish that she would feel that way, because the photoshopping of herself on her page is such a drastic difference to what she looks like in real life and non-photoshopped photos.
My eyes are not trained enough for that. I literally never noticed.
It's obvious. I think it's obvious. The dress was not, if she dressed for her body type, I think it would have landed better. But these corset tops that she's wearing do nothing for her boobs that are way too big for her. Is not giving. She has such a beautiful hourglass right now, right? She's in her mom era. Accentuate her curves. It's not landing. I didn't like it.
I don't know.
I liked the white, tan, blue. I've seen 3 variations of that one dress that was kind of giving Grecian.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it in 3 different colors. I have no idea what the color was.
We're 50-50 here, as you can tell, on Brittany.
Yeah.
If you've been listening for long enough, you know that I tend to like Brittany. I'll usually be more on the side of Brittany, except the part where she actually is with Jax Taylor.
Yeah.
And then she's very anti-Brittany.
I'm not anti-Brittany. I am anti this Brittany. I think she has the potential to be wonderful. I'm not anti-Brittany forever. I am anti this fame-hungry, not real version of herself. If she was just herself and she was just, I feel like she's giving off fake, and I'm not about that life. It feels like I'm watching La La 2.0, pretend to be something that she's not.
But Southern Belle version.
Or
Kentucky Muffin version.
Kentucky Muffin.
Because I was going to say Kentucky is not exactly South.
Well, but they have the twang.
Yeah.
You know what I noticed this, speaking of Brittany, someone pointed out on the interwebs, I believe it was on Reddit, her accent has gotten thicker since being on the show. She has played into it more. Because when she first came on the show, she didn't have the accent as big, and now now you hear her, she's got the twang, and I'm wondering if she played into it as her TV persona, have a more Southern accent. And Lala plays a little more gangster on the show, has that little more of when she's actually from fucking Salt Lake, you know what I mean? But someone pointed that out. But I'm not anti-Brittany. I'm just anti this one.
Yeah. Well, at the correspondence dinner, Jax had both denied his affair with Lori and also said that he misses Brittany, which of course he misses
Brittany.
He is living under this delusion that he's actually going to get Brittany back, but people are starting to think that they're not getting back together.
I don't think so.
I believe, and I will lean on the side of they're probably not getting back together.
No.
Brittany is probably going to get a divorce. But if she, for some reason, decides to take him back, her entire everything is shot to hell. Her brand, her credibility.
Yes.
She will literally just fall in the public opinion.
Yes. Considering all that has come out over the last the girls at his bar.
But even the years before all of this.
Right? There's a pattern of behavior. And he's not changing. Did anybody actually think that these two were going to be in rocking chairs, gray and old, watching their grandchildren? I mean, come on. I don't think majority of Vanderpump World viewers did. No. I don't think any outsider who has zero knowledge of this would look at them and think, oh yeah, that's long lasting.
Right.
I will eat my words if we're all in our 70s and we all check and Google and they're still together.
Nah, they won't be.
What about him makes you want to stay married to him? What is he offering? He's screaming for pasta in his bar. He's hooking up with his publicist. He can deny to that till he's blue in the face, but it's the evidence is there. Where there's smoke, there's fire, right? Right? Okay? He's hooking up with girls in his bars.
Well, I was going to say, it's the pattern of behaviors that you were just bringing up. Like,
yes.
Why? Jax is the living example of once a cheater, always a cheater. He's not the type to rehabilitate from that.
There is no, like, this is who this person is.
Yeah.
This is not him, like, he made a mistake and he's so remorseful, right? Like, there are people who I think who have cheated once before. Like, okay, I'm an Ariana stan. I know, guys, I'm sorry. But, like, right, her and Tom cheated. But I don't think she would ever do that again, right? But, like, Jax is a cheater. He has been a cheater since he started this show, and he will continue to be. He literally said he would fuck a squirrel, okay? He said he would fuck a squirrel, right? And this man is dumb, but he is smart, right? He is too dumb to have a mistress. But
that was very generous of you.
Okay, but my point is, though, he is too stupid to hold a mistress, right? But he is smart enough to know that he can hook up with girls in a bar and not get their number and get his... Right?
Well, I was even going to say, to your point, he can get with his publicist every week, and his communications with her are always going to be camouflaged, right? Because they could just say they're setting up a meeting via text or email or whatever, and Brittany wouldn't even think anything of it.
No. If I'm not mistaken, Lori is off of Jax's Instagram as his publicist right now.
Supposedly, yes. Obviously, I'm not sure how it happened. I guess he either fired her, she maybe quit.
They done got caught. Someone said her husband made her fire him as a client.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised about that. Yeah, where is the husband for all of this? Where is her husband?
Taking care of the kids.
No, I know. She's got 2 boys, but, like, why has he not come forward?
The whole thing is just so mad. And maybe he doesn't want to be. I mean, there's people that just don't.
Crazy. Also, while we're still on this topic of Jax and Lori, Scheana seems to have kind of sort of confirmed it on her podcast because somebody asked her what she has to say about it, what her thoughts are on it. And she's like, I will not say anything until Brittany says something, but I couldn't imagine a worse situation. Meanwhile, she just lived through the last year where her best friend was cheated on by her life partner with another one of their best friends.
She very clearly doesn't care about that friend, though.
Must not, because
she cares about the friend that's going to continue to get her screen time.
Really quick, too, my last Valley piece of tea, because we're not really, like...
No.
I just caught up on the Valley, but I still don't really care enough to talk about it, because, again, they just do one big blow-up scene at the end of the episode. Care. No, yeah, like, they just do one big blow-up scene at the end of the episode, and then they breeze past it in the first 5 minutes of the next. So it's just, I feel like I'm constantly, like, edging without a climax, you know? And it's just not fun.
The poll, didn't we put up a poll on our social about, and everyone kind of agreed we were not getting a season 2?
No, other way around. They did.
Other way around. You're right.
Because there are people out there that really do think that this is amazing TV. And I think because it's the trashy people fighting and arguing back and forth. Like, I think that's what people are enjoying about the show, because it is trashy reality TV at its finest.
Yes. They really picked the trashiest people.
They did. But I don't know. It just simply doesn't do it for me.
Janet was on with Allie, yeah?
Oh, on Watch What Happens Live last week, yes.
I like her. She seems less trashy than the rest.
Janet and Jason and Danny and Nia are the two, like, golden couples.
Yes. They seem the least trash.
Yeah. Janet might have other stuff going on, though, like more behind the scenes, because people seem to think that Janet is more involved in the drama than what we actually see on the show.
I mean, you're the company you keep, so they can't be that great.
Exactly.
But they are at least slightly better. Right? Slightly better than what else we have going on.
Danny and Nia, I will say, are the golden couple. Like, let's be real. But Brittany said at the Whitehouse Correspondence Dinner that there will be a reunion. Kristen and Luke are saying on their podcast they have no idea if there's going to be a reunion. So either one of two things happen. They genuinely are that up in the air about a reunion, or Brittany is basically spoiling the fact that there is a reunion and she just wasn't supposed to tell anybody.
I don't see why they wouldn't.
Well, right, exactly. If the show is that, and this is where my head goes, right? If there's a reunion, without a doubt, there's a season 2. You're not going to waste your time giving a reunion to a show that's not going to be renewed, you know? So the reunion is really indicative of what's going to happen in the future.
I think they both could be right. I think that they filmed the reunion, but I think the airing of the reunion depends on if the network picks it up for a second season.
That's a third option.
I can't imagine with everything that's dropped between all the divorces and all the affairs and all the things that they wouldn't have a reunion on the back burner just in case they get a season 2. You know what I mean?
Well, I feel like if they're going to do a reunion, they're going to film it before the season, like Vanderpump style. They're going to film it mid-season.
They probably already have. We just didn't know.
You think these people aren't posting, though, about showing up to a reunion?
You're right. Okay, you're right. Jax would be all over that shit.
Jax would. Brittany Kristen would. Brittany would. Like, we would have seen it by now.
That's why I think the reunion is going to hinder on whether they get a season 2.
Absolutely.
I think, like wishful thinking, yes, we'll have a reunion. Because we'll get, because of all the things that have dropped, but I
can imagine Jax just being like, oh, definitely, we're gonna get a reunion, absolutely.
Oh yeah, yeah,
super harmless.
It's not scripted. My show's the best.
This is real, genuine reality TV.
Real, genuine feelings. Yeah, no.
We're real people. This is
I think watch if they don't get picked up. I'm telling you, if they don't get picked up for season 2, no reunion. If they get picked up for season 2, reunion.
Absolutely, absolutely. Stagecoach was last weekend. And this one was probably more interesting than Coachella because Rachel obviously went and everybody was very curious as to who she was going to be with.
Yeah. Oh, that's not what I was giggling about.
No, we'll save that. I have that note. I know which one. Our brain cell is brain celling.
I hope we are, yeah.
It is, and it's on the list.
Okay.
We're making our way down.
Okay.
Of all the people to be seen with in this festival, I was rather surprised to see that she was seen posted with Jenny Ting. Jenny Ting, if you remember, is Vanderpump adjacent, right? I believe, if memory serves, I think she was one of Rachel's old like pageant friends, if I'm not mistaken. I think they were both in like the pageant world because they were friends, and then Jenny was also friends with like Scheana and that group. She had a child recently, and we suspect, or at least I suspect, that, and I've posted my theory on this before, Jenny, I believe, unfollowed Rachel after Scandival broke, because Rachel has talked about, after the scandal happened, she's talked about how there were people in her life that felt like they needed to unfollow her because of all of like the flack and public hate that they were going to get by associating with her. And she mentioned a friend that said, I'm so sorry, like I have to unfollow you, this, that. Jenny Ting does not follow Rachel, but Jenny Ting had Rachel in her bridal party, like at her wedding and stuff. Like they were close. She still does not follow Rachel, but yet they were seen together at Stagecoach.
She was a former LA Lakers cheerleader. So I'm sure that they met in the pageant world. It doesn't say how they met. but she is considered an early whistleblower of the affair.
Yes, I believe that. You want to know
Because
why?
she was kicked out of the hotel room in Mexico.
Yes, she was supposed to room with
and she said it was production's fault.
So yes.
She works in real estate. I guess she's connected to Selling Sunset. Yeah. West Hollywood circles. But yes, so apparently that's interesting. Okay, so now they're BFFs again.
Right? I don't know. I wonder if this means that at some point Jenny is going to follow Rachel again on social media, because my theory here is that they never were not friends.
Yeah.
I think that she's just been trying to save her public image, trying to make sure that people don't suspect that they're friends. It's weird. It's shady. Why do you even want to be friends with people like that? I don't understand it. I don't care how nice somebody is to me. And maybe she's okay with it because she genuinely does know that she fucked up. But like...
Does she though?
Well, we'll get there. But like, it's weird that you still are pining for these friendships with people who will be friends with you in private, but not in public. Like, that's weird to me.
Yes. It's giving off despo. Despacito. Despacito.
So, next piece of tea. Ariana files a motion to dismiss Rachel's lawsuit.
Wait, we missed my favorite Stagecoach.
Which tea?
The fact that she's wearing Ariana's shirt.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That was what I was giggling about.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And then in the comment section, somebody asked, "Where'd you get your shirt?" And she's like, "Oh, I don't remember. It's from a boutique, I think, in LA." And everyone's commenting like it's from Ariana's closet.
She probably fucking did take that shirt from Ariana's closet.
Ariana wears it in season 9 on the show.
There was also a second shirt that Rachel wore that Ariana has. I think that one might have been a coincidence because maybe they shopped at the same place because they were friends. But this is weird.
Tea. This is my favorite tea of Stagecoach. I don't give a fuck about the boyfriend. I don't care about Jenny Ting. It's the fact that she is wearing Ariana's shirt and then in the comment section lying so terribly. I don't remember where I got it. I don't remember. I think it was from like some boutique in LA. Girly, it's your ex affair partner's shirt.
That's wild.
It's your ex BFF's shirt.
Like, I want to believe. The part of me is wanting to believe, right, that she genuinely just happened to bought the same shirt and wore it. But like,
how do you not know where your shirts come from, right? Okay, that's what makes it so silly and so funny.
And we already know that she's the type too that will buy clothes from somewhere intending on getting a discount. So so she can return it the next day.
She was quick to say where her bottoms were from, right, and where her jewelry was from. And her accessories. The shirt was the only one that she goes, "Oh, I don't remember." Right? Tell me right now. I can tell you right now where every single piece of article of clothing I have on right now is where I got. I can tell you where I bought all of this. Right? Okay? You're telling me you don't...
Red flag.
Red flag. It was hysterical though. Her comment was just like giggling about it. It's so funny. It's so funny. I don't know where I got it. I can't remember. But like, here's where I got the rest of my, and especially with something like this too. Okay, like a Coachella, a Stagecoach, like things like this. You are preparing those outfits. Right? Okay, you're preparing those outfits for months. The minute you get your ticket, you are planning your outfit. You know where you got your outfit because the girly pops out here. We want to know, right? So we're going to go up to you at Coachella or Stagecoach. "Oh my God, I love your outfit. Where'd you get it?" And I'm going to tell you word for word what aisle, what day, the time of day, like where I got it, right? That's what you do. It's what you do. Okay? You're telling me you just don't remember? No. Bullshit. You planned your Stagecoach outfits and you don't know where every single... bullshit. It's Ariana's shirt. It's Ariana's shirt. And she had to lie because she couldn't say it was. Because it ruins the very fragile, kind of already ruined image that she's trying to go right now.
Until Ariana comes out and says, "That's where my shirt went."
Yeah. I'm sure she saw it on the internet and was like...
Like this.
At this point, though,
bitch.
you can like she's not going to comment though because she's very much past this. Like her comments now are through her lawyers.
Yeah,
like she's not going to comment on.
Well, she can't. Yeah, absolutely.
She's not gonna do that. But I guarantee you, she's texting Katie a screenshot and going, I found my fucking shirt." Because I would. I'd text you and be like, "Tay, I found the fucking shirt.
It's on another bitch.
It's on the bitch." But yes, that's my favorite tea of Rachel. Not the boyfriend. Not the...
Oh, by the way, guys, Rachel apparently has a new boyfriend.
New boyfriend. Apparently,
single dad.
He's a single dad. I don't know in what universe you want Rachel Leviss to be your children's stepmother, but go off, King, I guess.
I mean, whatever. Apparently he's a car salesman of some sort, from what I've seen. Somebody was posting all of his, like, social media stuff. I tried requesting him on the gram, and I noticed there were a couple of Bravo pages following him. And, like, you have to request to follow this guy because this thing is private.
Yeah.
And then I went to double check it and see, like, if he responded to my request. No response, but it went back to showing that Rachel's the only person to follow him, which means he removed the Bravo pages that were already following him.
Ooh.
So I wonder now what's going to happen with that, but this is very weird. It's weird. So, and we'll give as much shit as we did with another woman that's going to be willingly dating Tom Sandoval,
Yes.
Like, it's weird. It's really
weird because they haven't changed.
Yeah.
She hasn't changed. He hasn't changed. How can you see the shit that she's saying and the shit that she's doing and be like, this is someone I want around my shoulder? What?
Yeah. Yeah.
What? It's the same with Victoria out here dating fucking worm with a mustache. Girl.
They're weirdly still together, too, and I don't get it.
She's with it because she wants to be on season 12. By the way, guys, season 12's delayed.
Yeah.
It's not canceled. The show is...
It is on a pause.
It's on a pause.
According to TMZ.
Let's very, very clear about this. The show is not canceled. It is...
Despite our wishes.
It is paused, right? So that's essentially like all the shows that were on pause when the strikes were happening. It's the same thing. I have a feeling they'll probably pick up in the fall instead.
I think so too, because Lala's due in September.
Yes.
Ariana will be done with Love Island. Nobody else has anything else going on. So
no, but the summer is I think they'll push it back a little this way that everybody can be on the show, and it gives, like they said in the article, to give more space between, because and also I think the lawsuits have a huge thing to do with this.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was my first response when I saw that. I was like, well, because everybody's fucking getting sued or suing somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's shut that down before we pick the cameras up, right? So I suspect come September, October, we will in the coming weeks, right?
Oh, that'll be interesting to not film in the summertime.
I know. In the coming weeks, we will find out, the production date is now October, right? And they'll film October, November, December. And then we will get the show most likely April, March.
Poor Lala's got to find a new way to pay her bills.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Well, if The Valley gets a season 2, I'm sure she will hitch her horse to that. Because that'll film during the summer. Because no one's suing anybody on that show. She's
already said that she was not going to say no if she was offered. And I'm sure that this is also a way so that while The Valley is filming, Scheana and Lala can just, have that under their belts.
They'll be Brittany's unwavering support system.
Until they're not.
Oh, no. They're going to be unequivocally supportive to Brittany. It's going to be, I'm telling you, I bet you, it's going to be completely different than the way they are with Ariana right now.
Well, let's see what happens, right? Because Lala, the producer puppet, right, is going to do whatever they tell her to do. And as Ann Maddox once said, you can't argue with production. But yeah, it's weird. But one other thing that I thought of too when it came to this hiatus is I think this is going to be wonderful for Dan and Ariana's relationship.
Yes.
Because it's going to give them more time to just let their relationship bloom.
I will hold my comments on them until we dive into the episode. But I do have thoughts. I always have thoughts, but I do have thoughts. Taylor and I have the same thoughts. Where if you're not watching the YouTube video, we're looking at each other right now and vibing. Right? Same thoughts.
The brainwaves in the middle. If I was capable of adding them in, they would be there. They would be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
We kind of already briefly mentioned some of these, but we'll talk about it again.
Okay.
These really kind of pertain more to the lawsuit in general.
Yes.
But obviously Ariana's lawyers had filed a motion to dismiss the lawsuit, which they should, because Ariana has already provided forensic evidence that she did not really send or distribute the video to anybody aside from herself and Rachel. She also provided text receipts saying that Tom had deleted the video from her phone. So I guess at some point while the fighting was happening, he took her phone, deleted it, and basically showed texts that between her and Rachel when she caught the affair and was like, you're fucking dead to me.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that plays out. Obviously, how we feel about it is that this is a dumb lawsuit. The reality of the lawsuit, however, is that regardless of who she sent it to, it still was sent to somebody.
Yes.
That can be very, very tricky. So I personally think that this is probably going to fall on however the judge is feeling that day. I don't know what's going to come of that.
Yeah, I don't, because, I mean, technically, under the law, she did distribute it. And again, this is not a criminal case. This is a civil suit. There's no criminal charges against Ariana or Tom that we know of, unfortunately. So under the law, she did technically distribute the video. But I think you have to take in the circumstances and look at, like, she distributed it. But in regards to this, like, she distributed it back to the person. I don't know. It feels...
I know. Like I said, feelings aside.
Feelings aside
from the situation.
Technically, she did distribute the video.
Feelings aside, right?
Yes.
Because obviously we're Team Ariana. Hello, her book is literally sitting right fucking
Look at her.
there.
She's gorgeous.
We are obviously Team Ariana.
I think I would be team, honestly, I don't think I could be team anyone who's suing the wife, girlfriend. I cannot, I'm sorry, I just cannot be team mistress is the right in suing the victim.
It's messy.
It's very messy. I don't know how the judge is going to go, because I can see the judge going, it wasn't distributed to the world.
Right.
So
it wasn't distributed amongst the friend group.
It wasn't, there's evidence that she didn't do it to the friend group. It was just to you.
Yeah. And Rachel is not going to be able to prove or find anybody who can prove that they had seen the video.
And we have been saying this I was in the comment section on Reddit earlier today, and the other, I didn't comment, but I lurk, right? And we were saying, like, if the video had been distributed to various outlets, other people, we all would have seen it already. We all would have seen it already. Right?
Reddit especially would have seen it.
We would have seen it already. There would be proof that it's out there. So that's why I feel like, technically, yes, she just distributed it, but I can see the judge going, like, it didn't get out into the world.
It's not on Hub.
It's not anywhere, right? We all would have seen it by now. It's been a year and almost a year and a half. We all would have seen the video by now.
Yeah.
So I can see the judge going either way, but I really just don't think that Rachel has a very steady case here. She absolutely does against Tom, but definitely not. I don't know if it's very solid against Ariana, considering the fact that Ariana has the forensic evidence. I think that is what's going to help her. Because without it, it's very much he said, she said, or she said.
Also, Tom's lawyer and Rachel's lawyer are brothers, and I believe it was Rachel's lawyer that has represented Scott Peterson, which is kind of fucking weird.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
I smell conspiracy.
Tweedledee was in People magazine today talking about Ariana's response.
Which one's Tweedledee?
Tweedledee is Rachel's lawyer. Tweedledum is Tom's lawyer.
Tweedledittle-dick, actually.
Tweedledittle-dick, okay? Tweedledee and Tweedledittle-dick. Okay? Tweedledee was out here in fucking People magazine. What kind of lawyer are you?
These are all terrible lawyers.
Okay. And that, you know what? The fact that he was in People, I think it was People magazine, he was in the magazines today talking about Ariana's response, just in turn tells me all I need to know and why no one has shut Rachel down yet. There's my proof, because he's out here talking about it. I just guarantee you Ariana's lawyers are looking at this like, we got this in the fucking bag, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got this in the fucking bag, bro.
Absolutely. But that's the tea of the week. That's all I got. There's not really much else kind of going on.
I don't have anything else.
You know what that means?
It's episode time!
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are on episode 14 now, officially, of the Vanderpump Rules season 11, which means it's possibly almost finale time. Maybe another week or two.
They didn't promo tonight, though. There was no promo post-episode. It went straight to the valley.
We thought that this was going to be one of the last episodes before the reunion, so now I'm pleasantly surprised to see how long they're going to push this finale.
It's going to be 1 or 2 episodes. It's either the finale's either going to be next week, or it's going to be the week after.
My guess, kind of like what you were saying, they didn't do a promo. My guess is it might be a week after.
Because they would have promoted the finale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild.
When have we not promoted the finale? Especially if this conversation between Tom and Ariana is coming.
I wonder if that means that they'll be pushing the gold party to 2 episodes, because there must be a lot of stuff that went down at that party, despite like what we've seen. And there were a lot of people there. I know for a fact, because Kristen and Luke were at that party, it's going to be another crossover, I think, with the Valley.
Okay.
Unless they weren't filmed, but I can't imagine them not being filmed.
Do you remember when the promo dropped and I said to you I think it was when we were still sitting, that first episode, and we were sitting on the couch, and I said about the season promo that Jax was in it. There was like a shot of someone's back, and it looked like Jax. In the promo for the finale, that final party. And I was like, oh my god, that looks like fucking Jax.
It probably was Jax.
And now that Kristen is there, it probably was. But yeah, I just can't see them, if it was next week, that they wouldn't have promoted it tonight.
It's really weird, right?
Yeah.
Unless maybe they were waiting for after
post Valley,
the Valley episode.
Do like a double promo.
Maybe. I don't know. Okay, so
episode
season 11, episode 14 of Vanderpump Rules. San Fran bound.
San Fran.
I want to go to San Fran.
I said that to you. I want a girls' trip to San Fran.
It would be a lot of fun. I've never been to California, period. So
really,
I would love to go.
I went when I was a kid, when my dad was living out there.
The only time 14? I've ever been to the West Coast was back in 2016. My best friend Haley and I, you met Haley.
Oh yeah.
We went to Vegas for a festival, and it was also at the same time. Her 21st birthday.
Oh, funsies.
So it was probably, I think, her birthday going into day 3 of the festival, and it was fucking amazing. I did the whole thing sober, by the way.
Cool.
Like, we were still in, like, my peak, like, get drunk, have fun type, like, living. And
we've been very different youths.
For whatever reason, I just did the whole thing sober.
You wanted to be present and have your memories.
Like, it didn't bother me. To stay sober at all.
Well, that's because you're a normal, functioning human being.
You
can have fun without alcohol and drugs. Can't say the same about this cast, but...
well, there's not really that much of drinking going on this season, though.
You know what? Currently,
Ariana...
you can say that currently.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you definitely couldn't.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But now that's true. Lala is sober. James is sober.
You don't see Katie acting a fool. Ariana, even herself, like she said, she was a little drunk in this episode, but even she wasn't really acting a fool. Sandoval did a second of just not drinking.
They've definitely grown. I hope grown out of that a wee smidgen.
Or they're just hyper aware of the fact that they're on camera and
we know their code words now.
Yeah.
They can tell me pasta doesn't mean. Until they're blue in the face. But I'm not going to believe them. Yeah. At all.
So, we get the first scene. It's something about her. We see that Anne officially works for Katie and Ariana.
Yeah, love that for her.
Which was great. Even though we just got a brief snippet of Anne, it's just nice knowing that she's well.
Yes. More Anne.
More Anne, please.
More Anne. You know what? I really hope that if once season 12 picks up, that and because something about her will be open. I hope that we get to see Anne as like a supporting cast next year.
I hope so. That would be a great way to just shove it in Sandoval's face. And all the haters of Anne out there. There's a lot of them.
Who could hate Anne?
There are so many people in the comments that just shit talk Anne. And it's like, you've clearly never seen the show before.
I will fight them right now.
Awful.
No, like, I am an Anne stan.
Like that post that I sent you the other day, very clearly an Ariana hater.
Oh my god, that whole post read like fucking Tom Sandoval.
And she's like, she tried to gaslight me at one point. She's like,
I know,
did you not watch? She's like, did you not watch and quit? I was like,
did you watch?
In what universe?
Are we in the Twilight Zone?
Like,
I saw that comment.
Did we watch the same episode? Are we watching the same show?
We're not. No. There are people on the internet that are Sandoval and Rachel defenders.
Anne literally even said it on her own fucking podcast.
That she got fired.
Like the delusion that people are living in.
No, the Sandoval and Rachel, like, defenders are out here bending, doing mental gymnastics, like gold medal worthy mental gymnastics to fit into this narrative that they are so desperate to hold on to.
This is where I will insert exactly something that Lala actually said on her podcast recently,
Okay.
where the fans love to just rewrite history here. This is one of those moments. I know Lala said it, but it's in a context that's not true. But like in this context,
it's true. I don't. What are you watching? Like, where
are we watching the same show?
Okay,
is there like an alternative Vanderpump Rules or something?
I think there's an alternative reality that a lot of people live in, and it's called misogyny. Like, I would love to be that kind of Delulu. I'm the not cool kind of Delulu.
Absolutely wild. But in Something About Her, we see Lisa comes in, and this is the first time we're hearing about, well, we've already heard about it. We saw that there was a trademark about it.
Penny!
But Penny clearly wanted a little bigger slice of the pie.
Drop your theory.
Well, it's not my theory. Somebody else came up with it. But yes, I will drop the theory. Somebody, and I'm so sorry, I don't remember who posted this. This was just something that came up in my feed, and then I lost the post in time. But
it happens.
This was somebody else's theory, not mine. But the theory here, and it makes sense,
it does,
is that because Lisa was the one to set the girls up with Chef Penny. Chef Penny has obviously been around for years, helped Lisa with many, many restaurants and places. So it's obvious, like, Penny obviously knows what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And Penny, basically, it was no longer a fit with Something About Her because Penny wanted to be more involved than what the girls were really looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And she wanted to be a partner in Something About Her. Probably not that long afterwards, Penny files for the trademark of Something About Her.
Mm-hmm.
And the theory here is that this was a way for Lisa to try and be more involved in Something About Her, that somehow she was going to be able to make her way in through Penny. And this is why Lisa's still pushing Penny, even in her confessionals and stuff. And I didn't think about this before, but this is kind of crazy.
It makes so much sense.
Obviously, we know that we know that things did not, in fact, work out with Chef Penny. So,
no.
Kind of curious what she has to say about all that. I'm sure it will be a matter of time. Maybe she'll go on a podcast or two. But the next scene takes place at Kyle's jewelry store. Scheana and Sandoval make up again. That's it. Like, she's still, after such disrespect.
Such shock, much surprise. I am shocked Pikachu.
She continues to show that her friendship with Sandoval will always be priority over her friendship with Ariana.
Like, that man said to your face, to your crying, restraining ordered face, that you meant nothing to him.
He also encouraged Rachel to get the restraining order.
Scheana is she wants to be everybody's friend so badly that she is willing to overlook when people tell her that they're not, right? She has done it for years with Stassi. She's tried her damnedest to be part of the Witches of WeHo when they repeatedly told her that they do not give a shit about her. And she's doing it with Tom. He does not care. He does not care. And him looking like he's caring is a self-serving narrative. If it wasn't serving him getting back in the group and back on the positive side of reality, then he wouldn't be talking to you. Because he literally told you to your face that he didn't care. And there was the one time I think Tom wasn't lying.
Yeah.
He wasn't lying there. He does not care about you. There is maybe one person in this entire world. I will say there may be two people in this world that he cares about. Tom Schwartz and his mother.
Yeah. One thing, too, that just came to mind with this hiatus that will be coming up, right? Because they're not filming in the summer. This makes me want to take another look at how things went during the reunion. Anyway, that was
I really just think it's got to be the lawsuits.
Well, and the other stuff, yeah.
Because they weren't... You're telling me that they didn't think to give a break between last season and this one, but they're going to do it now? They're getting sued at the wazoo, okay? Not just Vanderpump, but like Bravo itself is so neck deep in lawsuits right now that I guarantee you more shows are going to be put on hiatus. I guarantee you. I bet your ass that we're going to get in these coming weeks, right? This show's on hiatus. This show is not going to film at this time. They're going to keep pushing things right? Because they also have other Bravo shows that they have the Top Chef, they've got Below Deck. Below Deck has like 5 franchises. Like they have things to fill the void while they deal with the lawsuits that are Vanderpump and the Housewives.
Oof.
So they wouldn't be without content, but I bet your ass.
So next scene is Katie and Lala getting ready at Lala's wherever, her house, apartment, whatever.
Yeah.
It's her birthday coming up, and she had to call Sandoval to uninvite him to her birthday party without ever actually inviting him.
It's Kyle Chan said it.
But yes, that is exactly how Kyle Chan said it. But I also, from Lala's standpoint, wouldn't also be too surprised if he did just show up
at
with
the party.
Schwartz.
Yeah, that was what she said. He would. There was no doubt in her mind that he would have shown up with Schwartzy.
Yeah,
but that also just makes me like, pick a fucking lane. Pick a fucking lane, okay? Because he was invited to your water tasting, but he's not invited to this. Why is this different?
Ooh.
Because you just had him at your water tasting.
The producers wanted him at that one, but I guess Lala's birthday is where she drew the line.
It makes no fucking sense. It gives her, it's just, she has no credibility anymore. I don't believe anything that she says. Because you can't one week call this man dangerous, then the next week be best friends with him, then the next week be mad at him again, and then the next week have him at your water party, and then right after that say, no, you can't come to my birthday. Pick a fucking lane.
And then she's the one who gets mad because, nobody was being honest.
You're not being honest. I have no idea where you stand. I have absolutely no idea where you stand, right? Are you okay with cheaters and liars and manipulators and gaslighters? Or are you not?
Or are you a girl's girl?
It's just giving fake.
Yeah.
It's gross. It's gross. Pick a fucking lane.
I will say, though, I do enjoy where they went for her birthday. The burlesque show was kind of cool. The Heather McDonald appearance, too, was one that I was not expecting.
Mm-hmm.
And then they called out Scheana because Scheana was obviously with Sandoval over FaceTime. Ariana very clearly seemed like she did not know. And I was living for the facial expressions.
Oh, my God. I know. A vibe. And her little bullshit.
That's pathetic.
That's pathetic.
Scheana and Brock packed San Fran. Don't really care. There was nothing really being spoken about. Yeah,
I literally could not tell you what was happening in that scene.
But the next scene, we have Ariana and Dan's date night. Dan's finally got it in his VPR debut. We'll call it.
I adore him.
Green flags everywhere. We love the green flags that Dan is throwing out there.
As a VPR veteran, right? And Lala said it this episode too. But as the VPR veteran of the pod, it is fucking weird seeing her date someone that's not Tom Sandoval.
It is.
But in the 20 seconds that this man was on my television, he threw Tom Sandoval's dating with Ariana out the fucking window and like 7 light years away, right? This is now at the edge of the galaxy, okay?
Yeah.
He Star Wars this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was so polite and so, like, he was just so sweet, and he was ordering the food, and then he was making her a taco, and, like, she was just gonna do it herself, and he was like, no, this one was, like, and I think you said this too, that we liked the fact that he is not jonesing to be on the show. He could give 2 shits at the cameras if he was on camera.
Because that was literally Lala's first concern for some reason.
Which is valid. It's valid. Let's be honest. Like, that's one thing that I will agree with Lala on, is that it is, I too would be a little suspect if my friend was just catapulted into stardom and then this random man is now dating her. Right?
Well, especially 10 days after her 10-year relationship just blew up.
So that was a correct hesitation. But I think he's proving, as you saw tonight, he didn't give a shit. He didn't need to be on camera.
He's not pushing to be on the show at all.
He's there. It was giving, I'm there to support you, not be on the show.
Yeah.
Because he didn't, and it also, I just realized this, it's really giving that he knows she can fight her own battles and he doesn't need to be in the room. But at the end of the day, she wants to come home to the safe space.
Yeah.
And that's all he was there to just provide a safety.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's beautiful.
I think it's sweet. And it's kind of going back to what I said earlier about how this hiatus is going to be really good for their relationship because now they have, obviously she's going to be booked and busy with Love Island and whatever other opportunities are going to come her way because Lord knows she's going to get more.
She's gonna be on Broadway again. I guarantee it.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
That would be
She
lit.
killed it in Chicago, and there are plenty of Broadway shows that are not Broadway, right? That would hire
her like part time.
Would do around like she did with Chicago. You know what I mean? Where she's not an actual like SAG-AFTRA Broadway union like actress. Like she's just like
a Broadway star.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and I think that would make sense for her, especially because she did just buy that house.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, she's not really itching to leave LA or West Hollywood or anything like that.
I don't think she is either. But I don't.
But it'll be nice to see that they will have at least some sort of off time to be able to really like continue to water their relationship.
Yes. Well, she said tonight too on their date that she really loved that they were long distance. Yes, because it's letting her heal and letting them grow in a really wonderful way.
So I actually did take note of that too because I related to that. Yeah. I mean, you and Max were long distance. We were long distance for probably that whole, I guess technically that whole first year that we were dating. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was the best thing because I was going through all of my stuff with know what. Mm-hmm. And Sara, by the way, has been around for like the whole origin of my relationship.
I used to get her ready to go to New York
for our dates. For her dates.
I literally after the salon would close, I'd do her hair real quick and she would go. Yeah. Yeah. I've been around the whole ride, which is why I'm absolutely going to be a bridesmaid. But it was,
it was, and it was crazy too because like obviously looking back on all that, like the whole thought of long distance relationships was something that I was not about because I had been in distance relationships before and they've always been such an awful experience, miserable in fact.
You guys did it so beautifully.
But this was entirely different, and this is why my note basically says being in a long distance relationship is very helpful for a new relationship when it's with the right person. Yes, and I think that it worked perfectly because I've always said in the beginning of our relationship, we've had our own issues with trying to figure out how to grow financially. And, we were saying like, oh, this is a great way for us to be able to kind of build ourselves up, do what we have to do, just to kind of figure ourselves out. And then, we can prioritize our main lives and still be able to enjoy the free things with each other. And I think that that's why we're at that point now. Yes. Like we live together. He lives with me now. So, and everything is going so wonderfully. So great.
Oh, I'm a big fan. I ship it.
Yeah. He's the best,
guys. He's the best. I've been calling them mom and dad because I'm a single. I'm still.
Yes, you're still single.
Okay.
Until words are said otherwise, you are.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
You're in that in-between phase.
I'm in between, guys. But I've been joking for like weeks now that they're like my mom and dad because I come here and I'm like I feel like their child. I'm like third wheeling.
We feed her. We cook for her.
It's a third wheeling in a really great way. Like I can come over.
Not in a Rachel kind of way.
No, but like I'll be like, I need boy advice. And Max will be like, I'm ready, let's go. Yeah. Yeah. They're my mom and dad, guys. I am like 3 years older than them, but they are mom and dad.
Meaningless.
And the age is meaningless.
Age is but a number.
Yeah.
So yeah, I ship this relationship.
I love it.
I find exactly what she said to be very relatable, and I fully this is how I feel like I just leveled up as an adult because I was like, I understand this. I understand exactly where she's coming from, and this is amazing. So
I know, I love it for her. She's glowing.
Yeah,
she's glowing.
I have a lot of good feelings about this relationship with Dan. Like obviously, it's weird to see somebody come off of a long-term relationship and then immediately thrust themselves into a new one. But this is a very unique circumstance.
Well, that's the thing. I think you have to. She's not seeing him every day.
Mm-hmm.
They're like
she's very clearly prioritizing herself and her growth and her career.
He's totally
goals.
Cool with that. Like he seems so chill to just be like, you do you, baby.
He's on the sidelines and he's happy with it.
He's working his jobs.
He's not fame hungry.
No, but I think this was perfect for her because she has someone to lean on, but she can't throw herself into physical intimacy with him because he's not there. They're forced to have conversations and have deep conversations, and because that you otherwise maybe wouldn't have if you're able to see each other every day.
Yeah. So, anyways, we love Dan. That's it.
Dan stands.
Dan stands. Also, I made a note. How annoying to transition from such a great Ariana scene to a Tom Sandoval in the Most Extras show. Because that's just immediately...
I blacked the fuck out, bro. Blacked the fuck out. His ugly ass harness suspender shit with like fucking LED lights singing Tip. I hated that song when he put it on the show the first time, and I hated it again this time.
You know how I said last week, going into last week's episode with Jax, it's like, no lube, no foreplay. They just rammed Jax like right up our assholes.
Did it again.
No, I feel like they tried to soften us up. They learned from last week, right? And they
okay.
said, we're going to soften you guys up a little bit with some Ariana and Dan.
Oh,
and then bite the pillow because here comes Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras.
His mom being there.
Oh,
Thomas. Thomas, I'm so proud of you. Bitch, where? Where?
I want to know what her thoughts are on this whole thing.
Her thoughts are she is boy mom TM, okay? She had fucking Rachel in her house for Christmas while he was still with Ariana.
I know.
Okay?
That's why
Terry is not a girl's girl.
It hurts my soul. I'm not going to fault Terry for throwing him money to open his business. I feel like any parent who cares about their child would do that and has the means to do it.
I guess.
Will do it.
I don't know. There's something about Terry that's always irked me.
I mean, that's something I'll never understand because I'm not a boy mom, but... Oh, and Joe reappears.
Ugh.
We're back with Joe again.
Ugh.
This is our first time seeing Joe and Schwartz talk since their breakup.
And then he goes out and throws out that comment of like, I can see us married in 8 years.
We're going to get married in 8 years. And then he's like, oh, did I say that? Sir?
After you just have the flashback of her on the couch crying, saying, I do deep down have feelings for you. And then you're going to throw that comment out at her?
Like, do you just word vomit and not think
twice?
There's
no filter. There's no filter.
Like,
he doesn't,
weird.
He doesn't think at all. There's no way. He just says whatever he says in the moment to be silly and quirky.
Yeah.
He's Tom Sandoval. He's Schwartzy.
He's a lovable idiot.
He's Schwartzy.
We finished season 10, like reunion and all, but the one scene that always sticks out the most to me was post-scandal coming out, right? It was the finale, and he's sitting down on the couch talking to Katie, and he's like, I'm just a guy trying to make it in this world. My health, my wealth, there's man-eating Nile crocodiles in Florida. And it's like, who the fuck are you? What is this self-inflated worth that you have that you feel like you could just say anything and get out of any situation?
Because that's what we've propelled onto him for the last 11 years. Not as much post-scandal and post-divorce as he did before, but for a long, long time, everybody was Team Schwartz. And Schwartz could do no wrong. Even when Schwartz was wrong in regards to his relationship, he was never wrong.
Weird as fuck, dude.
He had it in the bag, and now it's like he doesn't know how to be anything other than this persona that he's been for the past, 12 years.
Identity crisis.
So,
next scene.
Okay.
The gang goes to San Fran. And not even 10 seconds into this arrival of everybody going to the airport and stuff, we hear Lala make a judgment comment about Dan.
I completely missed that. I literally was sitting on the couch, and I'm going through the Reddit comments in the live thread, and I'm like, when did Lala say shit about Dan?
Literally
I missed it. It's like a blink and you miss it thing.
Yeah, no, it was really quick. I forgot word for word really what she said.
I mean, it's not important.
Exactly.
Let's be honest.
She was just being judgmental towards him.
Of course she is.
Basically saying, I think something along the lines of how quickly you can start dating somebody with this, especially this woman, is when she's still living with her ex. And
you slept with a guy who was very clearly married, who was buying you things. I don't want to hear shit about what you think about Dan and Ariana. Shut your mouth.
I also am convinced that Sandoval wants to size up Dan, and that's the reason why he was all like, I kind of want to meet him.
His fragile masculinity is
showing. He wants to size him up and just...
He's going to be so into... Okay, Did you see Dan? Did you look at Dan?
Yeah, he's hot.
Yeah, of course Tom wants to size. Of course Tom wants to size him up. Tom's intimidated as fuck. Okay,
should be.
Okay, he's got hair of gods. Okay, he's ripped as fuck.
Ripped.
He is hot as shit. Okay, this man is hot as fuck, and he's a fucking gentleman.
And Ariana bagged him so fucking quick.
Okay, yeah,
so fucking quick.
Tom is 100% intimidated by this guy, so he wants to size him up. And he thinks that he's going to do it in the same way that Ariana did to What's-Her-Face. but it's like literally not the same.
Well, it's crazy too because this is what has Sandoval reminiscing about his trip with Ariana
Oh my
on the boat
god!
trip.
Yeah, this was our first trip together. We came here on our way. They were on their way to somewhere else. We stopped here together. And Lala's like,
which, by the way, that's the second reference that was made about this trip because they got a bottle of wine from that same trip that Ariana cracked open the day after 2 days after she found out about the scandal.
Yeah. And they were saving it for something special. Mm-hmm. And that something special was you fucking her best friend.
Yep.
I don't know if I hope for it, but I kind of like the idea of Tom walking up to Dan to try and start shit and Dan just being like, nope. Because you saw in the hotel room when Lala was trying to fish if he was going to say something and why he wasn't going with her. And he very clearly was like, he hasn't done anything to me, but I know what he did to her. Mm-hmm.
I think that was a very appropriate response too.
It was. Because he knows he doesn't have to, it was giving, I don't need to fight her battles. She doesn't need me to fight her battles.
Yeah, like he didn't do anything to me. That tells me like I'll still treat this guy with respect because there technically is no reason not to.
No, he will be cordial.
He can play nicey nice.
He will play nice, but he's not going to forget what he did to the woman he's dating. Mm-hmm. I would say love, but I don't know if they're there yet. But
I think they are now. They probably might not have been then.
Maybe not then, but now they're a year together now, which I also love. They had that wonderful time together in New York, and I really love that when she was in New York, she wasn't living with Dan.
Yeah,
they lived separately in New York
because she was with Brad. Yes.
Yeah, and I think that was such a great move by the two of them.
Well, I'm sure she wasn't really like itching to move in with him. No.
And with her schedule the way it was and his schedule, it's probably easier to like their work. No one wants to wake somebody up and they're, you know what I mean?
Like true adults.
Yes. But no, I really love that when Lala was like fishing for like.
Yeah. I think that was a production move.
He was just like, it felt very production-y.
Yeah,
because what was she there for?
And then she started like giving him like weird like flirty comments, like, "Oh, I could tell you were going."
He was not having any of it either. It was so funny.
That gave me such an ick.
It really did. There was no reason for her to be in that room. It felt very
forced,
produced.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't getting ready with Ariana in that room. There was no reason for her to go in that room other than to fish for information and flirt with somebody else's man again.
Hey, Lala, why don't you just go see what Ariana and Dan are doing? You know, see what their thoughts are on Sandoval.
Why isn't he coming to this 20s dinner? Because she doesn't need him to. No, she doesn't need him to.
She just wants him there. She has somebody to go into bed with.
When the cameras are off, she has her safe space. It's literally all he's there for. And he's going to go to the finale party. We know that. Mm-hmm. And that's all he needs. And I really love that. He's literally just there to support her.
I love it.
And I think if she wanted him at that party, he would have been. The 20s dinner, I think if she wanted him there, if she really wanted him there, then he would have been there. But she didn't need him there. Mm-hmm. And I think I said this to you in the living room, that I think this is a wonderful compromise of him really not wanting to be on camera, but doing it in a way, they're compromising.
He can be present without being filmed.
Yes.
Yeah.
He will film a couple scenes here and there, right? But he's not going to be like main cast. Mm-hmm. And he'll go to some things with it, but he's not. It's a wonderful compromise.
Yeah. Like if he can avoid it, it sounds like he would.
Yes. And she was okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just need you at this, you have to be at this one. And he's like, fine. Do a date scene, fine. Be in the hotel room 5 seconds, fine.
And they really didn't capture them talking about all that much.
No, it's a wonderful compromise they've come to. Yeah. Getting him on the show without, and then even too, like all his little FaceTimes with her. You know, their relationship is still off camera.
Yeah.
Whilst being able to be on camera.
Yeah, I like it. It's a good balance.
It is.
Jeez.
Brain selling. It's weird, guys.
But going back to the boat trip, we have Ariana and Brock kind of just taking a little stroll, having a conversation. And my note immediately said, not Brock lecturing Ariana about forgiveness when he abandoned his family and slapped his girlfriend, wife, baby mama, whoever.
Wife. He's a divorcee.
Oh, okay.
And he'll be one again.
No, I mean, I do genuinely think he has changed. We talked about this last week, so we won't rehash it. But, like, you know, it's It's the whole, like, thinking that he's so wise and can, like, push somebody to forgive somebody when you did something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that especially is just something that, to me, like...
Shut your mouth.
Like, at this point, you don't deserve to speak. You can learn your lessons and you can move forward from it as you have, but you don't get to lecture somebody about what their actions should be.
Know your place.
Yeah.
And you asking for example of male rage while fucking having a domestic violence charge, shut the fuck up.
And simply just having a scene with Scheana only maybe a month or two prior.
They used it in the montage.
Yeah.
They used it in the montage. In that little, like, edited thing.
That was Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. That was incredible. I loved it. Every single one of those Vanderpump guys just having male rage.
Somebody had said in the Reddit thread that it felt producer-y, that conversation.
It probably was.
It felt, because they had said, I wonder if there was like a bonus given of whoever can get them to talk first gets extra money. Because then you have later on that scene with Scheana and Sandoval where she's trying to get them to talk. Then you've got Lala saying the same thing. Now you've got Brock saying that thing. So it feels like
a game.
It feels like production's like whoever can get them to do it first gets extra money. Because
ooh, that's a good theory.
Right? Right? I saved it to tell you until now.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You just blew my mind.
Yeah. It makes sense though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because why the fuck would Brock be talking to her about that?
Why is everybody pushing her so much to talk to him? It makes sense now.
The producers.
Well, because we've said it for weeks now that Brock's been really pushing to earn that paycheck.
Because there's probably a bonus involved.
There's definitely some sort of incentive involved.
There's something.
Even if it's not money, there's something.
There's something.
There's something involved.
There's something.
There's something at play here. And because, I'll add to that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's mostly been Scheana, Brock, Lala, the main culprits, right, of having this conversation.
Yes.
What if the incentive could possibly be, if not money, going to the Valley?
Oh.
Could you imagine?
Oh.
Oh my God, dude.
Oh. That's interesting.
What a fucking theory.
Oh, that's interesting.
Whoa. We are now at the Roaring 20s party.
So fun!
I love a good Roaring 20s party.
Everybody looked so good.
The fits were awesome.
I'll even give it to Tom.
Yeah. Well, which Tom?
Both. I'll even give it to both Toms. I don't want to, but I'll give it to the Toms.
Listen, okay.
If Sandoval does anything well, it's a costume.
Yes. Sandoval can do a good costume.
That's all he's got going for him.
Yes. I feel like an undertone for this season has been just trying to plant seeds with a Schwartz and Katie reconciliation. Mm-hmm. And he does the whole, like, one night stand.
Bubba, what if we just order $150 of room service?
And just sit on our phones and scroll.
Like old times. Katie's having none of it, and I love it.
It's weird. It's weird.
It's just so weird.
And this only comes just a couple of days after he's like screaming out to the streets that he wants to marry Joe in like 8 years.
It's giving, I don't know what I want.
I think he definitely misses Katie.
He wants his cake.
Yeah.
Like, what's that expression?
He wants his cake and to eat it too.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think he wants the sex with Joe, right? The physical aspects of the relationship with Joe. And then he wants the other stuff, the moral support and
stuff from
everything
Katie.
else from Katie.
His whole relationship with her was like that. He loved the commitment with her. He loved the stability. He loved the safety. But he wanted to put his willy in anything that moved.
Yeah. And he was always just mad that Katie wouldn't give it to him, but wouldn't do any of the things that he needed to do in order for that to happen.
I don't know. The men on the show really need to learn how to do non-monogamy.
No. I think the issue there is just that they weren't ever really all that compatible.
They were not.
Compatibility matters. And in that particular case, they wanted very different things.
I think at one point they were. And they just kind of outgrew each other.
Well, that happens.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think divorce was the right move for them, but I think Tom needs to just, like, stop living in the past.
I think he just needs to be by himself for a while.
They all need to be by themselves for a little while. Katie has the right idea. She's out here just going on dates, but she's not committed. She's evolving herself. She's got the right idea.
Katie's been living, like, the ideal single girl life.
I love it for her. She's glowing.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, this hour flew because the
really
show
did.
basically ended with Scheana and Sandoval once again making up and having a good conversation. And here's the thing. If we didn't know what Tom was saying since the show filmed, I would have started to feel like, oh my God, he seems to be learning his lesson. He might actually have somewhat remorse over what he did.
Yes.
And then you remember all the shit that he still continued to speak after everything was filmed.
Like yesterday.
And he was still doubling down on his actions. Like, everything he had said in that scene is moot.
I was just going to say that, yeah.
Moot.
My thing with that scene was not even just Tom, because I don't even really register him anymore. He's like a fly to me, like he's just a nuisance.
It's like, what did Ariana say? He's scenery to me. He's
scenery.
Just there.
He is. He's scenery to me now. But my takeaway from that was that I would believe Scheana had Ariana's best intentions in that conversation had it happened months prior. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If that was her first conversation with Sandoval, like, I would, and she wasn't doing all of this stuff
as like producers
and saying all these things about Ariana behind her back and blah, 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 like that conversation would hit so differently, right? Because what she was saying was so true and it needed to be said.
Yeah.
But I just can't.
You can't put the two things that are all being said together into the same person.
Yes. Like, it's just not, it doesn't feel genuine.
Like, you don't know which side of Scheana is the genuine one.
Exactly. It doesn't feel genuine. That conversation felt icky.
Yeah.
It felt icky because it was something that should have been said months ago. The first scene together should have been that. Mm-hmm. Not 4 months later at the end of the season. Now you're going to say that? Yeah. You should have said that before. That should have been your first conversation with him. But it wasn't, because you don't care.
Mm-hmm. And this is why she don't want to give you the time of day now. This is why she won't give you the time of day when you go see her in Chicago. This is why she won't give you the time of day when you run into each other at Coachella. This is why this is the beginning
at your child's birthday party.
Oh shit. Yeah, I forgot that Summer's birthday party happened.
Didn't even comment or like on anything about Summer's birthday.
Oh, yeah, she's done.
Yeah.
She's done.
I would be too.
That's it. Their friendship's over.
I would be too.
That's it.
She went into this season thinking differently and thinking not being able to watch because she's busy on Broadway, right? And going to the reunion thinking one thing and then finding out
that all your friends have talked all the shit
that you thought happened didn't happen.
Yeah.
You just watched, and now she's watching episodes now and seeing all the shit they're saying behind her back, and you wonder why she doesn't talk to you anymore.
Yeah. It's like what she said on Watch What Happens Live weeks ago. It's just very shocking and hurtful, and it's hard. Mm-hmm. It's hard to see coming from somebody who's supposed to be your best friend. Mm-hmm. So again, with Ariana and her best friends betraying her,
she's got Logan and Brad, and that's all she needs. And Katie.
Whoa. Yeah, see? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Katie, Dan. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Brad, Logan.
Well, I'm still hesitant on Katie.
Okay, that's fine.
Because of
the speculation.
You already know, mm-hmm. The speculation. Obviously, it's flying very low under the radar.
Yeah.
Katie, and we've already heard that Katie doesn't really talk to her castmates. I don't know if Ariana is included in that or not, but it's... Mm-hmm. Katie's up in the air right now.
Yes, but Ariana has friends outside of the show that support her 100%.
She'll be set.
She is.
She is so good.
She's so good.
For a long while.
Oh, yeah. But she's had, Brad and Logan have had her back since...
Day one.
Oh, yeah. And they haven't wavered since. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Those are her, to quote Rachel, her core people.
Her forever friends.
Her forever friends. Yeah. I should have done the hand gestures at the same time.
That actually does remind me. Mm. I think Lala was passing judgments about Ariana's friends, running off and going on podcasts and stuff. Mm-hmm. And Brad was just kind of like, she knew about it. She supported it. I was there to support her. I was there to defend my friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plain and simple, as a real friend would do.
Yes. Those are because those are her real friends. I guarantee you that Brad and Logan and Dan knew about Chicago, DSW, everything, right at the Dancing with the Stars.
Love Island,
right the fuck away.
Mm-hmm. Because those are the people that aren't going to go blabbing.
Those are the people she can trust.
And you know who's been doing the most talking?
Fucking Lala and Scheana.
Yep, Lala and Scheana.
Yeah.
They have done the most.
The most blabbing.
The most.
It's insane, actually.
it is flabbergasting.
It's
These are supposed to be
insane.
like good friends. Like Scheana is it's not that surprising for Lala because Lala's character has been pretty consistent throughout the whole show.
Yeah.
But Scheana's, it shouldn't be, but it also is because this is like
it's Ariana.
Scheana had to beg Ariana to be on the show with her.
I think that's what I struggle with. Is that not so much Lala's flip-flopping, because Lala will do whatever she needs for her paycheck, and we know that, right? That's who she
said
is.
it herself.
And she said it herself. It's the fact that Scheana is, it's Ariana and Scheana. Like, they have been there for each other through everything. They have been, like, the duo since season 2 on the show, right?
Season 1, if you want to include the scene where she was her backup dancer.
Yes.
Right? Like
she has been so supportive of Ariana since the beginning. She went on the show for her. Like, it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling that it has come to this. That Scheana has now lost the plot so much that she's betrayed her best friend for a man that said he didn't care about you. Because he took pictures with you one time 12 years ago.
Right.
And gave you some money during the pandemic.
You know, Kristen even said on her podcast that, like, it was a group discussion to make sure that Scheana was, like, iced out early on the show.
Yes.
Sandoval was included in that.
Obviously. But he's gonna go against the grain later on. In the moment, he'll agree. But he'll do something to make himself look like the hero later.
Was it worth it?
It wasn't. You just lost. She's completely lost the only person that's ever had. She got up. You know who didn't get up to go comfort you last episode? Lala. You know who did?
Ariana.
Fucking Ariana. You know who has had your back for 11 seasons? Even when you didn't deserve it. Fucking Ariana. And this is how you repay her. When she finally needs you the most. Right? When she finally needs you to have her back for once. You can't fucking do it.
Rewatching the finale of last season too, you know, you see the part where Ariana has everybody rallying around her right at the house. They're all sitting, she's on the couch, everybody's circling around her. Yeah. Scheana immediately, like, steals the scene when she's talking about, because, yeah, sure, she has a story to tell herself, having been with Raquel. Yeah. Like, when everything was popping off. Yeah. But I don't know, it was the way that she, like, felt the need to
make it about herself.
Over dramatize it, right? Like, as if it had been done to her.
Well, Tom, unfortunately, as much as I hate to agree with Tom Sandoval, he kind of had a point last week. Yeah. It didn't involve you. Yes, you got a restraining order. Yes, your friends were involved. Yes, it has triggered some things, but you were not
You don't see Ariana writing songs about it.
You weren't the center nucleus of this implosion. Yeah. Let's go back to the ring theory, right? You were not the center nucleus of this explosion. Ariana is. Tom Sandoval is. Rachel is.
Like, Scheana's just got to write herself as the main character in everybody's story.
You're in one of the center rings. I will not discount and say that you are not in the center, but you are not dead center.
All right. Well, I think this is a good place to wrap it.
I agree.
This was, in my opinion, I think this was a pretty decent episode. I don't think it was the worst that I've seen all season.
No. It definitely feels like we're gearing up for something big, though.
This is gonna be, if all the hype is real, right, this is going to be a big blow up finale. I am very excited to see where this goes.
Me too.
I'm very excited now to know that we're all going to get a little bit of a break this summer. And I think it also helps because now eyes aren't going to be on the cast at all times. Nobody's going to be posting shit all summer about what they're filming, what they're doing, who they're with. Yeah. You know, that's going to be very nice and refreshing. So I hope that means that we'll be in for more surprises for the next season.
I hope so.
But if you made it this far, I hope that means that you are already following us on socials.
TikTok.
But just in case you're not.
Instagram,
TikTok. We are at Pumped Up Tea. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also at Pumped Up Tea. We're on Patreon. Again, Pumped Up Tea. And we'll have some really cool bonus content. And maybe we'll start implementing like some lives and stuff.
That could be fun.
Let me know what you guys think.
Yeah.
If we do like a live before the show, Obviously, afterwards we have our recording session, but we'll do like a little commentary or something before, give our thoughts on what we are expecting for the episode, something, maybe a Q&A.
Ooh, what if we did like, we recorded the podcast live and had like comments from fellow Vanderpumpers.
Whoa.
We could like recap it together.
Whoa.
Did I just have a cool idea?
That would be cool.
Okay.
I don't know how we're going to do that right now, but we'll figure it out.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
I had a cool idea, guys. Love that for me.
We'll figure out how to make that work.
Okay.
So yeah, subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Like our videos, comment on them. We got a lot of comments actually on our video 2 weeks ago, because technically I already uploaded the YouTube from last week, so now we're talking about 2 weeks ago. We did get a lot of comments on that one, so thank you guys to all that have.
I don't even know what I said in that reel.
It's okay.
I love you guys though. I love looking at the comments.
I know. They're awesome. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
We love that you're here.
We do.
And we will see you guys next week.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.